So,
Okay, so
since we've done our rankings.
Okay, all right, cool.
So let's each redo them with Force Awakens included, and then we'll discuss Force Awakens.
Am I a heathen for having our Star Wars talk drinking out of my Star Trek mug?
No.
You son of a bitch.
J.J. Abrams did both. And honestly, he shot first by having Star Trek be more like Star Wars.
So rankings.
Do your countdown really quick, and then once you put the Force Awakens in your timeline, give a brief thought on the movie.
Okay. Do you want to do the same? And then
we can get into it.
Do you want to do the same ordering?
Yeah.
Okay. Or the same? Yeah. People go. All right. So again, 1, 2, 3, and then we jump 30,000 miles.
Right.
Then it's 4, and then Force Awakens. And then 5 and 6.
Oh, really? Okay, your list changed from what I saw.
Yeah, no, well, honestly, to be fair, okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, on Facebook, after I saw Force Awakens, I put it at the top. I was like, best film, 10 out of 10, winner. And then, but it's been a few days it's been 3 days now since I saw it.
Yeah.
And I've had time to be like, no, it was amazing, but I like it more than New Hope, and I don't know why. I guess
we'll get to that because I think that's going to be a debated topic.
Because there are specific reasons why.
Yeah,
it will never touch 5 and 6. Those films are amazing to me, but yeah, it's over 4.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. I think our lists are going to be all very different.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Nathan.
So once again, 1, 2, 3, 6, and then in the same placement as Sal, Force Awakens. I would say that. I'd say that the distance between Jedi and Force Awakens is a little bit more than the distance between 1 and 2 or 4 and 5. So it's very, very close, but there's a little bit more of a gap between those two, and then of course 4, 5.
All right. Okay, this is interesting.
Okay.
This is my
turn. So all right. Here we go.
Josiah just opens with, all right, so Force Awakens, and then Clone Wars.
Force Awakens, then Clone Wars movie. No. I might end up being slightly harsh to this film, but it'll be Clone Wars, 2, 1, 3, a jump, Force Awakens. And then 6, and then a slight jump, and then 4 and 5 together.
Okay.
This is very interesting.
Yes, it's quite.
This is
the debate is not over. Okay. Well,
so how do we?
Yeah.
So how about we Okay, I'll just get it out of the way. For me, The Force Awakens, music, cinematography, performances, and overall story were all phenomenal. That's all the good things. Why don't we throw in our little nitpicks, because I think everyone talks about how great the movie is, but let's point out some of the things that bug us to be unique.
Let me be fair though. This film, I think it's getting a bit too high of praise in a lot of places. There's people saying it's better than any Star Wars film, and I'm like, your hype is way too high.
I think to be fair though, after the prequels, this is such a relief.
Well, I'm gonna get to that. I
think it's honestly a little bit of both, because I've heard both sides. I've heard people go, "This is the best Star Wars movie ever," and then I've heard people going, "This was a huge disappointment, and it's not very good." And I was like,
"Yeah, I've heard actually a lot of people shit talk this movie."
Yeah, I actually have. I think, let me put it.
I went on Twitter and I was like, "Oh my god, Max Landis."
Yes, but I think there's a few things I agree with Max on. Yeah, I think I'm going to be the grumpy Gus, but let me put it.
Is it Josiah's turn to be the grumpy guy? Did you get the pillow today?
Yes, let me put it this way. The movie is definitely, I will say right now, just go see it. It's fun. You're going to get exactly what you want if you want a Star Wars movie.
And there's your check.
And there's
Thanks,
my
JJ.
check.
I'll see you later.
Go see it in 3D because it adds to the experience.
As long as I recommend the movie so they get more money, they don't care what I say. I still get it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Actually, who saw this in 3D?
I didn't. Why?
I didn't.
I did.
The last movie Nathan and I saw in 3D was Terminator Genesis.
I'm so sorry.
Genesis.
We actually kind of liked Genesis.
I like Genesis. It's better than
Salvation. It's on par with 3. It's on par with 3.
Yeah, I saw this.
It's on par with 3, but for me, it's more fun than 3.
Yeah, well, that's true because 3 is just like, hey, you fucked up. The world's gone.
Same shit.
What?
Yeah. I saw Force Awakens in 3D, and it was enjoyable. It was pretty good.
Did it enhance?
It didn't. Well, the thing I like about
did you feel immersed?
The thing a little bit sometimes actually. When Snoke appeared in 3D, that was fucking rad.
Did he actually look good in 3D?
Oh, he looked good. Yeah, he looked good. Did you not like him?
Okay.
No, in 3D.
Well, I thought his CGI was the worst of the whole movie.
It was the most cartoony, I think.
Yes. Let me put it. Yeah, like Andy Serkis. I'm used to Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and Lord of the Rings, so that's just kind of like middling mocap for me.
But even within the movie, we saw the other motion capture because Maz looks really good.
Oh yeah, Maz looks great.
Yeah, Maz looks amazing, and then Snoke looks like CGI, and I was like, "What the fuck?" I
honestly think they'll change his design in the later movies. Like it's like how they did in the original trilogy, where in 5, Palpatine like had the chimp eyes, and then they cast Ian McDiarmid.
Weird.
Yeah,
I actually like the original Palpatine in 5, but
I do too.
That's fine.
Yeah, but I'm glad they didn't stick with it.
Yes, I'm glad they didn't stick with it.
Yeah, but this movie in 3D is pretty. It's good because nothing is like too ham-fistedly like, oh look 3D. It's all like you just feel distance well. Especially it's like the Snoke thing feels great when the First Order is on the Starkiller and Hux is giving the speech.
Oh, I bet that looks great.
You feel how many troops are there, and it's great. Yeah. There's just a lot of scenes where you're like, oh my god, I feel this.
So, spoiler alert, but when Rey got the lightsaber, did that look good in 3D? Like how it zooms past and then lands in her hand?
Yes, that looked pretty good.
Okay. How are we gonna do this?
Did anyone else call Rey being the actual Jedi? Because I did.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like.
When they very, very, very first announced like the casting, I thought it was going to be Poe.
I would have loved that. Poe's my favorite, by the way. If we're just gonna,
Poe's wonderful.
Yeah, Poe's really good, even if he's not in the movie.
Yeah, God, he's gone for like an hour. I was so mad.
So what I heard,
to be fair, he's like the Princess Leia.
Yes, he is. But what I heard, well, no, actually, I think if we're looking at this as a mirror of the original trilogy, he's the Han and Finn is the Princess Leia. I'm just gonna say that right now.
I'm just saying in terms of like role within the movie. Just because Leia also had the least amount of screen time in New Hope, and she was prisoner for a good majority of it. So kind of same with Poe.
And I think Finn is the Princess Leia because, to be honest, he's going to be the center of a love triangle. I mean, what?
Josiah and I talked about how. Because I was wondering this.
Yeah.
I was wondering if Force Awakens was kind of going to like try to be a little bit too topical and have like, well, not too topical, but try to be topical and like sort of shove in gay or bisexual characters. So for a second, I thought that they might do something with Finn and Poe.
Oh yeah. And Nathan and I were like, no, we're fine with this.
Yeah. I was just like, I support that bromance. Like,
oh yeah. Dude, when they hug, I was like, kiss.
Dude, yeah. When he's like, that jacket looks good on you, I'm like, oh damn, that got steamy.
I was like, yeah, take it off.
What's funny when Poe reunited with BB-8, I thought he was gonna like pick him up and spin him around. I just just do it. He's so adorable.
Dude, when the film started, I was so surprised that BB-8 was Poe's.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, what? Okay, I buy this.
Because we all assumed that it was going to be Rey's bot.
Yeah, dude, Poe needs more screen time in the next movie, and he's going to.
Actually, I heard something.
Oh yeah, did you hear what I hear?
Poe was supposed to die.
Yeah, I heard that too.
He was.
And I think because it was Oscar Isaac, and because they were like, this is a really great character, they're like, let's keep him alive, which leads to the whole, oh, I died, but now I'm back. Wait, what?
Yeah, because the way they killed off Max von Sydow's character super early.
A waste. Why was he even in the movie?
You know what? I think that later on it's going to come back. I think he's going to explain. Okay, I have a theory though about his character. Okay. He's Rey's Obi-Wan.
He's the what?
No, remember how Obi-Wan was
actually, yeah, I had that theory too.
But he just gets murdered easily in the beginning. But I think in the flashbacks in the next movie he's going to come back. Okay. I don't think you would cast this kind of character with that actor unless. And as soon as I saw that they're going to do flashbacks, I was like, okay. He's gonna come back.
The next movie is going to be a lot of flashbacks. Let me just get it out of the air right now. I think my biggest problem with this movie is it feels like there's a movie before this that we missed. It feels like this is The Empire Strikes Back as the first movie of the trilogy, and that's just weird.
I mean, I think that a lot of that is creating food for the new expanded universe.
Yeah,
I think they might also do a TV series. I think that would be cool if they did.
But to be fair, this film did reinvigorate my interest in movies, because I have this thing where like whenever I see movies lately, that new ones have been coming out, I'm like, it's the same fucking beats over and over and over. Here's this, here's this, here's this. This is the first one that felt like an actual film. Like, it wasn't, let's just do the beats and get the money. This felt like an actual experience.
I mean, it was kind of a remake of A New Hope.
Yeah, but I think it was better. That's actually why I put it above New Hope, because I think this.
I think that's why we're gonna debate it, because it's like when you said that, I was like,
Yeah, because I think they did. Because the biggest part about A New Hope that I don't like is the last half hour with the Death Star.
Really?
I really don't like it.
Do you mean the space battle or the moving around the Death Star?
Everything about the Death Star. Just no, not moving around. Sorry, I forgot that they're on the Death Star when they rescue
once
Leia.
they escape.
Yeah, once they escape, everything after the escape is like, I'm kind of like, Well, because the biggest thing is that like I wanted more character things happening in that time, because all of a sudden Luke's now a fighter, an X-wing fighter magically, and then now
he's a good pilot. He can hit womp rats.
I wanted more of that. That was a throwaway line. I don't like that.
There was a scene about him can't believing that Ben's gone, and then the TIE fighters attack.
Yeah, but I just wanted. I wanted like some scenes where we were with all the X-wing pilots and we were getting to know them. Like
they actually cut out some scenes.
See, and it felt like they cut out scenes too. When I was watching it, it was like there should be stuff here. Like
What about pork?
Yeah, right. Like.
Actually, in the original versions, they added it in the special editions. There's 2 scenes.
Oh.
There's a scene with Biggs, and then there's a scene with this pilot saying, "So I knew your father in the Clone Wars," and then it's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "Yeah, he was a great pilot," and then he just leaves. "You'll do fine." And I'm like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
where was he?"
Yeah, I just wanted more stuff happening there, and I think that the biggest thing is that like in Episode 7, the events of Starkiller. With the base was a backdrop to the story.
And I hate that.
I love that.
I hate it. Why even have it in the movie?
I loved that so much. It was just a catalyst to have the scenes, and I loved it.
To be fair, I would have liked more of the space battle in Force Awakens, for that to be a little bit more, because for one thing, you get more of Poe. I did feel like they did a better job with pilot interaction, because you see a lot more of them, and it feels like. I don't know. For me, it clicks a little bit better than it did in A New Hope with that battle.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, just real quick. A little thing about A New Hope that I don't like is that they show all the pilots, and then it cuts to the actual space fight, and none of them in the briefing were there. Like it's all new pilots, and it's like what? But in this one, you see like Greg Grunberg's pilot.
Yeah.
And you see Poe, and then when you see the space pilot, you're like, oh, I kind of know these. Even though it was like 1 or 2 scenes, we still like they're familiar faces. Somewhat.
Yeah, and at the same time, the other thing that makes me okay with Force Awakens is that honestly, I'm not a huge fan of big space fights. Like the appeal of the Star Wars movies aren't the big fights in the ships that's just not interesting to me. Like I was reading the X-Wing novel, and he goes into like pages upon pages of details in those fights, and I'm just like, I don't care. I just know they're shooting lasers and.
Is it like reading a Tom Clancy novel?
Yes.
I will remind you, Nathan, you skipped the first 6 books.
Oh well, yeah. Well, yeah. Of course, I didn't. I mean, the description of X-wing flights wasn't the only reason I didn't like the X-wing books. I'm just saying that I don't feel like I needed to read the other books to understand that they're describing what it's like to fly an X-wing. Like, I don't think that would have added anything to the experience.
Oh, I know. I'm saying in devil's advocate against you.
I know.
I have to call that out because I was looking. I was like, oh yeah, there's 6 books before.
Yeah, I think I started on 5 or 7. I don't really know.
Let me tell you my problem with Starkiller Base.
Okay.
And I knew going in. So when I first saw that there was going to be a Starkiller Base, I was like, I'm going to have a problem with this. And then I was like, no, it might be well done, but in the movie, it's not worth anything. Like it's just like, okay. So it just brings up a whole lot of questions that the movie's not going to bother to answer, and the EU would probably answer, but
okay. Our base is going to be bigger and better.
Yes, exactly. That's my point, is that they're like, okay, so the First Order is a collapsed version of the Empire, but they have so much money, they just put it into something that hasn't worked twice. Their exhaust port is 1,000 times bigger, and basically they blow up some planets that, we don't. They're like, oh, the New Republic's there. Is that Coruscant? No, it just looks like it.
It better be Coruscant.
It's like, it wasn't.
Damn it.
What?
It wasn't. No.
Fuck. I was so happy.
Bullshit.
Fuck that. Coruscant should be dead.
And I don't understand the politics of what's going on. So there's a New Republic and there's a Resistance that's fighting the First Order that's a remnant.
Yeah.
But is it a stalemate?
I'm not gonna lie, one of the biggest issues is like, who is who and what is what?
Why is the Starkiller base being used now? Like, Snoke kind of says, yeah, fire that thing we have. Yeah, where did we get this? How did we buy this? How can we manipulate the sun? I don't know. It seemed way too... We need to make this bigger than the first Death Star, when you should have just either had a different kind of super weapon because it was repetitive, or you should have just had an invasion fleet. They could have put all that money into dozens of warships and then had a just big fleet coming.
See, I think I definitely agree with that, and I definitely think that setting up what Starkiller Base is was like meek to non-existent in terms of exposition. I think one of their big motivations for that was to do as much as they could, try to draw away comparisons from the Death Star. Like, they have the one scene where they actually like compared in size. For me, what makes it like kind of okay is how they don't spend a lot of time talking about it, because New Hope, let me just say, because A New Hope, half the movie feels like them going, "This is the ultimate super weapon. We shall rule the galaxy."
And it's more the whole movie.
It feels order. Actually important.
Yeah, exactly. But they spend so much time with that, and since since Force Awakens is using this same kind of base, this very similar setup, at the very least they don't spend a lot of time like going through those same steps of going, this is what will tip the scales in our favor, this is what will allow us to bring order to the galaxy. They just sort of go, yeah, this is our super weapon, and it works, and it blows up 5 planets.
Why are they waiting till now? Like, how long have they had this base? Like, let me posit this. I think they were so afraid of being compared to the prequels. They course corrected so far the other way that nothing gets explained. Like, in A New Hope, I understand the situation. Like, they're like, oh, we dissolved the Senate. And I'm like, well, that's vague, but I can kind of understand what's going on there. In the new movie, they were so afraid of things being explained, or having that Senate meeting on that planet with Leia there and explaining what the First Order is and what's going on. They were so afraid of that now there's like no explanation. I have to look outside of the movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not trying to be just all negative, but I think.
I guess just for me, like Starkiller Base. I guess, like, to be fair, this movie felt like it should have been another hour longer. Like, it should have had more in it.
Yeah.
They kind of rushed through some stuff, and, because at the end I'm like, okay, who's the New Republic? Who's the First Order? What? Like, are they still the rebels, or are they like an actual government?
The way that I had understood it previously was that the New Republic had been set up, and they had their core planets, which then subsequently got destroyed by Starkiller Base. But so the New Republic was that system, and then they were funding the resistance for people who were against the New Order in Imperial territory.
Yeah.
That's just what I took to...
I inferred that, yeah.
But then we go and see that the Resistance base is in the Ilium system, which is apparently not in an Imperial space.
Oh, wait, it was the Ilium system?
I think they said Ilium.
Ilium's where the lightsaber crystals are found, in the old canon.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, they recently released a map, and guess what, Sal? Rakata Prime from KOTOR is now canon.
I actually have to talk about KOTOR. Can I talk about KOTOR real quick? Can I do this? I've been doing this all day. I've been thinking about this. Okay, spoiler alert for Knights of the Old Republic. So do you two know pretty well?
No, I know. I played whatever the one that's the.
He played Old Republic.
Yeah.
Oh, hey Nathan, I'm gonna spoil KOTOR for you.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's actually a really great twist.
It is a great twist.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. You don't give a shit.
Exactly. I want it. Spoil it for me, please.
So this spoiler is one of the best spoilers since like Luke, I'm Your Father.
Yeah.
Well, this is fantastic. So the plot of KOTOR is that you wake up on the ship that's being bombed by the Empire or whatever.
The Sith Empire.
Yeah, the Sith Empire. Yeah, it's the Sith Empire. And you're in sort of like the Republic. and you escape, and you have to go to this planet and find this Jedi who also escaped, who specifically asks you to be on that ship, and is like very like caring of you. Then you find out that you're Force sensitive. You go and try to be a Jedi, and then you have these visions of the Dark Lord Malak, whose old master was named Revan, but Bastila killed her, and Bastila's the Jedi that you find.
Right.
You have these visions when you start to be trained to be a Jedi, and you start realizing that Malak and Revan, when they were here, when they used to be Jedis, were trying to find this thing called the Star Forge.
Oh, yeah.
And they go to all these caves and find the star maps. You eventually find out that you used to be Revan, but Bastila and the Jedi brainwashed you.
Yep.
And that's the big twist.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, what the fuck? It's like you're Revan the entire time. Because Revan has a mask. Nathan, go Google Revan real quick.
Oh, no. I know
he knows.
I know what he looks like.
Okay,
I know
good.
that Kylo Ren's mask is basically the exact same thing.
I remember beforehand I was so hoping that the Knights of Ren were like Revanites.
Yeah.
Like in the Old Republic. I was so hoping in this movie that he would pray to Darth Vader and then Snoke, or he'd be like also devoted to a bunch of other Sith Lords like Revan and Bane.
Which
and
he might still be.
He might still be.
Yeah, but and then like, towards the end, Bastila gets tainted and seduced to the dark side. Then you have to fight her and Malak, but you can like bring her back if you try hard enough.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you defeat Malak and you save the day. But around, I don't know the dark side ending to that game because it's like an RPG.
It's you take over the Empire.
Okay.
The Sith Empire.
Yeah.
But it gets taken over. Huh? Sorry.
Have they said which one is the canon ending?
The light side.
Yeah, the light side.
Okay.
The light side male, and then the canon ending for the second one is light side female.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not Revan. It's a new character.
Yes, it's not Revan.
I
think you're trying to find Revan in that game. Because he's gone.
Yes, no, but see, what's revealed in the Old Republic is that the Sith Emperor, the protagonists of 1 and 2, KOTOR 1 and 2, go to fight him, and then he imprisons them.
Oh, that's cool.
And he imprisons Revan for like hundreds of years.
Okay, but basically what this all boils down to is that, by the way, there's also this cool like starfighter type character called Carth Onasi. Who's always with you. Yeah. Here's what I've figured out. And real quick, Nathan, I'm gonna send you an image of Bastila because you're gonna love this.
Oh, I see what you're getting at.
There you are. Okay, that's Bastila.
Ah, goddamn.
So my theory is that Rey is Bastila, Kylo Ren is Revan, Poe is Carth. The star maps are the maps to Luke, and Malak could either be Benicio del Toro's character or it's Luke.
And the Starforge is Starkiller Base.
Yes.
Because it's powered by the stars. But like the Starforge, it was a Rakatan weapon who were these ancient force-wielding aliens, were precursors to then the Starforge was like powered by suns, and it could create like unlimited supplies of fighters and warships.
My theory is that this whole series isn't a remake of A New Hope. It's a remake of KOTOR. And that whenever Rey or Bastila trains with Luke, she's gonna get a double-sided lightsaber because she has a bow staff.
Well, I think that's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I think they want a light-sided character to have that weapon.
I also think that Rey's gonna go dark side, and Kylo Ren's gonna go light side, and then at the end, I think it's gonna be KOTOR. That's my theory.
I think so. So when this movie was first coming out, I thought that they were going to do the Jason Jaina bit where Kylo Ren is Jason and Rey is Jaina, and that it would be dark side brother, light side sister. But it doesn't seem like Rey is Han and Leia's daughter.
No.
I do have a theory. It's a very minor one, and I don't even believe it that much. But a random theory that I came up with that, like, if they decide to sort of shoehorn that relationship in, which my theory would be that maybe Luke wiped their memories of Rey so that they wouldn't have like that double failure as parents, you know?
Yeah. That would make sense.
So that's a theory that I have. That, or she's Luke's daughter, and then we get like a reference to Mara Jade or something. That, or they'll go completely new. This isn't connected to any of the characters, and hey, Force isn't about midichlorians or heritage. It's about.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to.
Yeah, but I guess that what led to this theory that I have is the fact that Revan and Kylo Ren look so fucking similar.
I think that's just because they ripped it off.
It's almost the same mask.
Well,
I'm
also
cynical about it.
I think that his actor also. I think that when they actually demasks, I love how they made him look a lot like Episode 3 Hayden Christensen.
Yes, I love that.
Because they were just like, he has too much Vader in him, and just like, you are not kidding.
Yeah,
that's very apparent. I also think that other theories that I came up with is I'm kind of hoping that we don't get a redemption for Kylo Ren.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honest. I'm kind of hoping that the big climactic battle has Rey like finally deciding to kill him, and that like that's the only way. I don't know how they'll resolve Snoke because I don't know like what his character is like. I do, but my other big theory, and this is one that I'm going to hang on to until it is completely disproven and all of my hope is gone.
Yeah.
But I really, really, really hope that Snoke is actually Darth Plagueis.
Yes.
And that they're going that route.
100%.
That would be the greatest thing in the world to me, and I still believe that it is possible. And I think it might be what they do.
They did say Supreme Leader Snoke is wise.
They said he's wise. His music is almost the exact same as the music playing when they tell the Darth Plagueis story. Yeah. And honestly, he looks a lot like him, but despite not being a moon. So
it can still happen.
It can still happen.
Revan unmasked looks just like Adam Driver.
He kind of does, yeah.
It's so... I want it. Can I have this? I want this.
They should just do that. They should just get BioWare to do that. That they do those animated cutscenes for Old Republic. Just have them do an animated movie.
Dude, I want to do
or they could do the in-between TV series.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, that'd be so much money. Oh my god.
Well, you just have like Clone Wars style animation.
Oh,
that's good.
Oh, later Clone Wars, yeah.
Yeah, later Clone Wars. Later Clone Wars / better episodes of Rebels.
Oh, speaking of which, to bring it all the way back, because there was a huge tangent, and then I wanted to address something. There's people saying that fucking Max von Sydow took a different name like Ben did, and that he's actually Kanan from Rebels, and I was like, Jesus.
But Kanan's already an alias.
I know, but so he has a history, Nathan.
Oh my God.
Dude, no, wait. Some people are saying that his character is Boba Fett.
Yeah, I know. I was like, what the fuck?
It's like, what?
I'd almost be okay with
what
that.
Ass crack did you pull that theory out of? Like, seriously?
Well, I know people said that Rey was related to Palpatine.
What?
And that's why she's British, and I was like, Jesus.
What the fuck?
When I was reading, when I was like looking up my fan theory of Plagueis being Snoke, I found one where it's the top 3 choices, and they were just like, okay, Plagueis is probably the most likely. Or he's Palpatine.
No.
Or the third choice was that that Snoke is actually Boba Fett. And it's like, what the fuck?
There was
and it's like, no, you...
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, and they were just like, no, you see, because Snoke is all scarred up and fucked up. So how do you, like, that's just what happened to Boba Fett when he crawled out of the Star Wars.
I need to bring a better class of fan
theory. And then this clone learned how to use the Force.
No, see, that was the funny thing is that when Nathan said that they thought he might be Boba Fett, I was literally going, what the fuck? I want the special edition to have Tamura Morrison voicing him. From episode 2, I just want that'd be just so funny.
So
I did like I noticed they did do a giant course correction from the prequels, but they did have a few references to prequel stuff. They said the Sith, they said the Supreme Leader might want a clone army. Right. They had the Magna Guard staff that Grievous's bodyguards had. Right.
Yeah, like that's the thing though, is that they had some references to it. But it wasn't all that important. It's like, I'm cool if they just, I don't want them to totally just not even mention the prequels.
Oh, they'll get to it because it's canon.
I don't want J.J. Abrams to go back and be like, I'm going to reboot the prequels and then do like his Star Trek movies, but with the prequel.
Oh my God.
I don't want this.
I don't want that at all.
I already have one alternate Star Wars universe. This would be like a second one.
But then we do also have Ewan McGregor speaking in this movie.
We do.
So. I did not hear that.
The scene where, I didn't hear it either. I kind of heard it, but the scene where, I thought it was Luke at first. When the scene where Rey gets her vision, it's apparently Alec Guinness said afraid, and they took Rey out of that, and then Ewan McGregor came in and did some lines, and then they took some Yoda lines. So that made people think maybe she's a Kenobi somehow, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah. So apparently the line is, Rey, these are your first steps.
Yeah.
And they had Ewan McGregor come in and record that, but then the sound designer went back and found a recording of Alec Guinness. So it's Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor saying that line, and that's just so perfect.
That's funny. Apparently, they also recorded the guy who did it in Clone Wars, the show.
James Arnold Taylor. Yeah.
But they cut it out.
Yeah,
but he didn't record a line.
He apparently he did some alien voices in the cantina. I don't know.
Oh! I just found out. So there's a bunch of random like little cameos in the movie from like big actors and all that. I just found out.
Daniel Craig.
Yes,
Daniel Craig
as the stormtrooper.
that gets fucking mind tricked, and it's just like Jesus.
I want more of that. Cool. I want more big actor cameos as stormtroopers.
Like I love that because it's just like you like honestly I don't want like big actors in main roles because I think that I don't know to me that sort of like detracts from the charm of the movies. I think
that was actually the best part. Whenever they get to the rebel base and all the generals and stuff are like people I know. Like you walk in, Greg Grumper's there, the guy from like Lost is there, and it's like what?
Akbar. I was so happy. If he wasn't in the movie, I would have cried.
Dude, the day before, I was talking to Mike, and I was like, if Akbar's not there, I'm fucking leaving. No Lando.
Yeah, poor Billy D.
Episode 8, maybe.
Billy D wanted to be in it so bad.
Yeah.
He came back for Rebels. He's just like, come on, guys. Like, let him play Lando.
Let me give my thoughts.
Hello, what happened here?
Is that I think with this, the reason this movie kind of at points falls, like I rub up against it, is that it's caught in that, I hate to say this is going to be an insult, but it's caught in that Jurassic World kind of...
Oh, fuck you.
I know, but there's another example. That's just the one that springs to mind. But I'm saying it's caught in that kind of, we need to play it really safe, and we need to repeat a lot of the beats, and we need to... The next movie's going to be the one that's really, really good. This one's just kind of like what we're doing to get people into it again. I'm like, well, people are going to see it no matter what.
I thought there was some great stuff in this movie.
Oh, I do too. I think there's great stuff.
And that's why I like Starkiller Base so much, because, like, in A New Hope, it was just, oh, we have to go blow up the thing. And there was, like, some character stuff. But in this film, it was, like, there was so much more happening. There was, like, Finn, Rey, and Kylo. There was Kylo and Han Solo. And there's all these things happening on the base. And it was sort of actually like how they, what they kind of did, which was interesting, is that they combined rescuing Leia and blowing up the Death Star in the same scene.
Yeah.
Or like Poe was the Luke in this scene, blowing it up, but they were actually inside getting the prisoner. So they sort of combined it into one scene, and I really enjoyed that because we have more character moments.
Let me tell you all the things that I liked about this movie.
Okay.
I thought the characters, aside from Snorkel, were good.
I like Snorkel, just not as CGI.
I like Plagueis.
I like Plagueis.
Honestly, one of the reasons I wanted to be Plagueis is that Snoke is such a bad name. It's like Sheev all over again.
Yeah.
It's classic Sheev.
What was that from again? Wasn't that Palpatine's real name?
No, that's Palpatine's real name in the new canon.
Sheev Palpatine.
In the new canon, yes.
I'm so mad.
Not in the old one.
But like no one knows it except for Tarkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for Grandma Tarkin.
So the things I liked about it, the characters, certain things of the characters I have a problem with, but the characters on the whole were really good. Like I liked all the new characters. I thought the actors were really great. You will not have me criticize any of the acting in the movie at all.
And the fact that they actually feel like people, and it's not Lucas's clunky dialogue.
And that opening scene is just so great.
Mm-hmm. Do I talk first or you?
How's this go? I can't hear you with the mask thing. Gotta.
Of course.
It was so great. Just like immediate like.
That's very true.
So he was Darth Bane in a sense.
Yeah,
he was.
And other things I liked. The visuals were all really solid, aside from Snoke, I think. Like, the practical effects were beautiful. I was really happy. They went through the effort to do that.
The monsters in Solo's crate were also
that scene was weird. That felt like 2009 Star Trek.
What scene?
Yeah.
What's up?
It was weird, honestly.
The tentacle monsters.
And I was so sad that the guys from the raid didn't do any kung fu moves. Like, why would you even have them cameo if they're not going to, like...
Such a red herring.
Wait, were those the guys from the raid?
Yes! Yeah. Like, 2 of those pirates were from the raid, and I was like, Jesus, it's Mad Dog. He's gonna
fuck you up. He's gonna beat the shit out of Solo, and they're just like, no, he's just gonna die. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, that scene wasn't a bad scene. It was weird. There was, like, CGI hentai monsters rolling around.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't mind it, because I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, oh god, CG. Then I was like, how the fuck did you do that, though?
Yeah. I just figured just have a different creature. But I did like how Solo was smuggling them.
Yeah, that was great. He was like smuggling monsters.
Yeah, I don't know why, but
because you gotta make a living, man.
Yeah, of course.
It takes a lot to feed a Wookiee.
Other things I liked, the cinematography was good. The pacing on the most part was really good.
You're a sourpuss.
I am a sourpuss. I'm sorry. I'm saying it's a good movie. I don't think it's a great movie. That's my opinion.
That's fair.
Like I said, it's not prequels bad, but again, there was parts where I was I could use a Senate meeting here.
See, I
swear to you.
I think what I like about Force Awakens is that its flaws, they're not the same as the prequels, where it feels like it's just like too much fan service and not enough of its own story. I think the big problem with Force Awakens, or all the problems, are sort of linked with it having sequel-itis, which I accept. Like, this feels like a continuation of the story still, for all its flaws.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when, the whole repeating things or trying to play it safe or be bigger and badder, that's all the things that sequels go through. So I'm fine with it having some of those flaws.
Yeah. My one big problem is the ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, the very ending?
I didn't want to see Luke.
No, but see...
No, because they put him in to show you, oh, look, Luke's here. But
no, I don't get that. That's...
Well, the big thing is that it ends, and no one tells Leia Han's dead. Chewie walks right by her without saying not even a pat on the shoulder.
There's this weird moment where even though she's never met her, Rey goes up to Leia
and they hug,
and it's like, oh, is she gonna tell her that? No, I already know, because Leia sensed Han died. Then she hugs her, and it's like, oh, well.
I guess my issue was that it felt like too much of a hey, go see the next movie.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of this movie is
the ending, especially,
not a lot of it, but
especially because I would have liked it if they stayed on the base and they showed more of Finn being in the coma. I guess because whenever Rey left with the Millennium Falcon with Chewie and R2, there was no scene of let's go find Luke. They just left, and I was like, oh, are they just leaving?
Well, they put the map together, and that was the dramatic moment.
I thought that they'd send more people.
No, because this is something she has to do on her own.
I know, but it was just, I don't know. It was a
weird
weird scene.
Fair, think of where, for one thing, we don't know what Luke is going to be like. They definitely left it very ambiguous when Rey proffers the lightsaber to him. For one thing, he has already tried and failed to make a Jedi Temple. He made the exact same mistake that Obi-Wan did. And then on top of that, 5 planets were blown up. So, when Alderaan blew up, Ben Kenobi was like, oh, holy shit, I gotta sit down. This feels terrible. So I'm feeling like Luke is in the absolute pits. And for the only Jedi, the only known Jedi in the galaxy who's, really, really out of it, I don't think sending a huge fleet and a big fanfare to get him is a good call. Not a huge fleet,
but it was just there was no hey, go find Luke. It was just
I think that was part of them trying to avoid exposition.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't want
I guess what I didn't enjoy is that every Star Wars film ever has followed this formula, where there's a movie and then we cut to a few years later, then a movie. Cut a few years later in the timeline. You know what I mean?
This next one's gonna pick up right after.
Yeah, and I guess I would like them more if they ended on a different note. Rey leaves, she's off, but we don't see her ever find Luke in the movie.
And then she finds him in the beginning of the next one.
Yeah, and then we had time to get back into the flow of things, because it feels like how this movie ended. It felt like it ended in the beginning of a scene.
It did, actually.
It felt like there was a 7-page scene.
It literally did.
And we showed you the
beginning of a scene.
The first page of the scene.
Because they've already filmed their meeting on that island.
Yeah, they have to.
They have.
They fucking show me that. Don't start a scene and end it.
Well, here's my thing, is that it's like what I said earlier. This feels like there's a movie missing before it.
Yeah.
And because it's okay, like I said, I like the characters, and I can kind of go with it, but it's Finn starts out not wanting to kill people, and then he kind of just stays there. I don't have a scene of him. I don't get to see a scene of him and the stormtrooper who died, in training, being friends or anything. It just kind of starts, and his character arc, and then he changes. And then Kylo Ren, all the Jedi, rather than have a movie where we have the Jedi back and they get wiped out again, we're just we got to reset it so Luke's the last Jedi again. I don't know. It just feels like there's a movie missing. But I think, Nathan, you're right, is that Luke probably went around wiping people's minds or something, and we're going to
I can see that. Like, I think that's the thing. I think that next movie will have a lot of flashbacks, and not just for Rey, but I think we're gonna get them for most of those characters.
Yeah.
But I think that's one of the things. Like when we were ranking like each of the movies, the thing about them is that they all had a context within their own series. This is the first movie of a trilogy that we haven't seen yet. So a lot of these things that like you're not sure about that haven't been told, they might end up being explained in the next movie, and that depends on. So it'll ultimately depend on if the next movie answers those plot threads effectively or poorly.
I know. I'm not saying they won't answer these questions. I'm saying my criticism ultimately boiled down to it's derivative of A New Hope in parts, but A New Hope could stand on its own. Yeah. And Phantom Menace could stand on its own, kind of.
Which is the issue I brought up earlier, was that this is the first beginning of a trilogy that can't stand alone.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Like I'm okay with a movie being like
that's fair.
Leading into a sequel. I mean, I
like Prometheus.
I don't think that at all. Because I'm a marathoner. Like when this whole thing comes out, I'm not just gonna like from time to time just go, you know what? I just want to watch Force Awakens and nothing else. Like I'm gonna want to go. Okay, let's watch the sequel trilogy. Like I'm gonna binge watch today. This is what I do. You know.
Is that the official name for it? By the way, sequel trilogy.
Well, it's viewed. Yeah, I believe that the executives are viewing 7, 8, 9 as a trilogy. And they want to make a movie every year, but they have a bunch of anthology ones planned out. So I think they're just going to do a sequel trilogy, then a second sequel trilogy.
Okay. Well, because
you think so?
Because for a while it's been like, we could just say original or prequel, but now it's like shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm still probably going to do that sequel trilogy, and then
anthologies.
It's going to be.
Yeah. We got original, prequel, sequel. I just don't know what they're going to do if they make another trilogy after the sequel trilogy.
It's just going to be
sequel.
Yeah, the second sequel.
I guess then you could say that this trilogy is the reboot trilogy, and then the next trilogy is the sequel trilogy.
Oh my god! Oh no!
This hurts my brain.
This is your brain on drugs.
I don't know. I think that last shot needs to be. As much as I love seeing Luke again, because I missed him.
That last shot was weird though. How it was like
the spinning around.
It was spinning around. It was like interesting.
Yeah, I would have liked it if it was more like a solid. Like I think it would have been
and on his face.
Well, when we were watching it, I made a joke to Josiah that it was gonna like flash the credits right when he turns, so you like barely see his face. So I was just like, Luke.
It should have ended like that one Doctor Who episode where it's John Hurt.
It should have been. He turns around, it's John Hurt.
I think it would have, but that final shot, like since they were going for this big dramatic swelling ending, I think it would have been cool if it was just a solid shot of her like standing across from him, and then you see like the sun setting between them or something, like something dramatic like that. I think a lot of the the big reason why that scene was weird is how it was the middle of the day. Yeah, so it like
that was weird.
So it felt like a tourist attraction. Like it didn't feel like this mysterious.
It's so weird. I heard a reviewer saying the exact same thing.
I understood.
I know. I understood. I watched it. Half in the bag.
Oh no, that was half in the bag. Yeah, you're right. I've been watching a lot of reviews, so
yeah, I watched that and I was just like, it's kind of true, and I think it's because it's like what they said was that island is kind of like dangerous to like. There's like a big risk, so I think so. It's possible that they couldn't film it at night. Yeah, but if they had filmed it at night or like at sunset, I think it would have looked a lot better. But the fact that it's like early morning or middle of the day sort of strips a lot of that mystery out of it.
Yeah, again, it feels like weird because it's just.
Oh, I did.
I like how I've completely reversed. I'm like, this is one of the only parts I really like.
Well, no, I do really love the end scene.
I would have liked it if there was 5 minutes after it.
Well, but then that would have felt honestly that would have felt worse to me because then it's just like, hey, I'm Luke, I'm Rey. Oh,
it's time to start your training.
I tried to make the Jedi. Oh, I want to be a Jedi. I don't want to train Jedi right now. Oh.
Will you try?
It's just cut it. I didn't need that. I didn't need the whole. Oh look, we got Luke Skywalker in this movie.
I did because
I needed at least 1 second of him. Like it. I didn't expect him to be in the movie. Like I literally knew he was going to be at the very end. I predicted that.
You know what I was expecting the whole time? Some sort of like hologram recorded message in the map.
That would have worked.
That's what I thought was going to happen, and then they're just there, and I'm like, oh fuck, we're here.
Yeah. I will say, I think Josiah, can you rant about the one thing that really annoyed you?
Which one thing?
About the lightsaber.
Which one thing?
How they because
I
remember sitting in the theater and you see Maz take out the lightsaber and Josiah's just like, you better fucking explain this, and just like, where did you get it? And just like, that's a story for another day. And I just heard Josiah.
I was like, what?
Because I remember going into the movie several times beforehand. You were just like, they better explain why they have Luke's lightsaber. I'm just like, they're not gonna explain that. That's such a random detail to just throw in. And then you were just like, no, they have to explain this. And I was just like, all right, they're not going to.
No, but see, I remember Nathan saying that he heard a leaks idea where like the lightsaber was floating through space, and I'm like, well, how the fuck did it get there? And then because let me remind you, Bespin's a gas planet. It's a gas giant. So someone had to go down in like hazmat suits to the gas planet and find the lightsaber somehow. Okay. In the old EU, they do find it, but that's just because Palpatine goes there and looks for it, and he knows that that's where Vader fought him. But like, it doesn't. Did Luke go and find it? Maybe. I don't know. It was just it seemed blatant. Like, hey, we need this because it's we need this to tie it all together, and Rey gets a Force vision from it. And
honestly, I felt
like I did like how it was presented to Luke at the end. Like, I did like the conclusion to it. I was just like, how fucking dare you just say, oh, it's a story for another time. We don't have to explain. It's fine.
Expanded like, you. Honestly, I was more kind of like, honestly, I was sort of more speculative of how he got Vader's mask.
Really?
Because that just makes me feel bad at the end of Return of the Jedi, because it's just like, so he just like left the body there like half burned.
I think it's unclear.
I think personally. Okay. All right. So what I think
Luke
is that,
brought it with him.
Yeah, I think it was in the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, and
as like a reminder. Well, because playing through KOTOR, there's through the Jedi stuff, there's this bit where like you have to like face your inner demons, and like you have to be tempted by the dark side to see if like you can truly withstand it. So I'm thinking like Luke had it there as like a reminder of what happens when you go dark side, but because Kylo Ren's a little emo shit.
Yeah, that's how I thought of it too. That he took it with him to the temple.
And I also bought why Maz had his lightsaber. I just thought that, in my mind, I imagined like this scene of like someone going to the bottom of like Cloud City in that little area and being like, "Oh fuck, a lightsaber."
Well, yeah, but it fell down onto the planet.
Oh, did it go down to I didn't see that though.
Well, because Luke fell down and then it dropped him out of it because it was waste disposal, and his hand fell down the same way.
Yeah. I just imagine
okay. You could say that it just landed in one of the shafts in Cloud City and someone found it, I guess.
Especially since Maz owns like a planet of scavengers, like an entire planet of scavengers.
And she's like 900 years old, and everyone goes to her with their shit. I'm sure someone found it and was like, I think Maz would pay a lot of money for this.
Yeah. I don't know. It was in hindsight, it's not that angering, but in the moment, I was like, I hate this. I was like, it wasn't like I hate it. I was just so mad because they did exactly what I didn't want them to do.
And they did exactly what I knew they would do.
Yeah, well, I knew they would, but I was still hoping.
I will say, I think that Kylo Ren was possibly my favorite character of the movie.
He fucking rocked.
Well, he had the most, yes, no, he was really good. He was really good.
I think I love his arc.
Really he was great.
They're doing just what I hope they would do, where it looks like he's having like an inverse Luke's journey. I assume next movie he's going to be like training with Snoke and like falling deeper into the dark side. Mm-hmm. That's why I think that he won't get redeemed at the end, because I think it's going to be inverse Luke, where towards the end, like in that like final battle that they eventually have in Episode 9.
It's a weird sentence. Episode 9.
That we'll have that moment where it's Kylo Ren going, oh, maybe I should go back to the light, but then he gets pulled back and like reaffirms his resolve.
Yeah. When Han went out onto the platform, and he said his name, I thought for half a second he was gonna say Jason, and I was like, oh.
I thought I saw him like mumble something when he first saw him, and I was just like, "Is it
Jason?
Is that Jason?" And then he just said Ben, and I was just like,
"That worked for me."
I'm okay with him not being Jason. Like that's fine. Like not literally Jason.
Yeah, man, Kylo Ben.
I don't really get why Han and Leia would
named him Ben. Like that's weird.
Because Han didn't really like him, and Leia knew him as Obi-Wan,
and didn't even meet him.
So, unless it was like Luke, like strong arming them, being like,
he's
hey, Obi-Wan is a great man.
All right, I'll go with Ben.
They did the Harry Potter thing where they named their kids after like other people in the universe, and it's like,
I mean, to be fair, Star Wars did that. Like way back in the '90s, they had they had Jason Jaina, and then I think Anakin Solo. Yeah, because it's Anakin Solo and Ben Skywalker in the old EU.
That's
which would have made more sense. I mean, it would have been fucking dumb if he just called out Anakin, and it's like, wait, what?
What's a twist?
Oh my God.
Why would you do that?
No, but dude, when he called out Ben, I was like, fuck. Dude, that whole scene, my heart was like pounding. It was incredible.
Okay. How early did you know that Han was gonna die?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity.
Me? How early did I know?
Yeah.
Well, that's the issue.
Yeah. Like, when did you start?
I went into this movie knowing someone was going to die because every first part of a Star Wars trilogy, someone has to die.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. I swear to God, I walked in that movie thinking Finn was going to die.
Really?
The reason being is in that one trailer where Rey's over Finn's body and she's crying.
Yeah.
So,
well, I didn't know it was him. I thought it was Chewbacca.
I did because of the jacket.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
But, because what I thought going in was, okay, Finn's going to be the red herring Jedi.
Sacrificial lamb.
Okay. And he's going to die, and then Rey's going to take out the lightsaber and fight Kylo Ren at the end. In rage, and she was going to feel the dark side.
Right.
This all going into my KOTOR theory. That's what I thought was going to happen.
I think you're right. I hope you're right. I hope that they do a cool inverse of things.
Yeah, so that's what I thought it was going to go. And then whenever Han walked under the bridge, I was like, fuck, I was wrong. I was like, shit, I missed it. I was like, damn it.
See, I think Nathan told me the leak.
Oh, I didn't get anything spoiled or leaked.
Well, like months beforehand, Nathan was like, "Oh, there's a leaked script where Han dies," and
no, it wasn't a leaked script. It was the MakingStarWars.com.
Okay.
And they released an article that was basically a composite of all the information that they found from the trailers and from knowing what shooting locations were.
Right.
So from that, they pieced together a surprisingly fairly accurate
for the most part
of the movie, more or less, yeah. But I still didn't know. Like, I wasn't sold on Han dying. But the moment that Leia said, "Go get our son," I was just like, dead.
Oh, I knew before. I think the moment I knew it was when she was piloting, when she was in the Falcon with him and he offered her a job. I was like, oh, he's fucking dead. He's so dead. And I was like,
wow, you guys got to wait earlier than that. I got it whenever he was looking at Kylo walk into the bridge. I was like, dead. Like,
well, that's when I knew when it would happen. But
well, because for most of the film, I was like, well, Finn's gonna die. Like, for most of the film, I was like, Finn, and then it wasn't. I was like, fuck, son of a bitch.
Yeah.